If you've been thinking about swapping out some of your toxic cleaners for some safer alternatives, I might have some solutions for you. I'm Dale Ann. I'm a Genius biofeedback practitioner. I'm an essential oils specialist and a hard of hearing communications coach. I inspire busy professional women to find relief from physical and emotional stresses using frequencies and plant magic. So the goal of this class is I want to empower you to make choices that are going to be good for you and your family. I'm going to talk about where toxins live. I'm going to talk about, there is some captioning, why we want to avoid those toxins, and ways that we can swap or substitute. We need to start talking about what toxins are so that we're clear that we're both talking about the same thing. So a toxin is any substance that places undue stress on the body. And when we talk about toxic load, we're talking about the sum of toxic substances that accumulate within the body, because the toxins place an undue burden on organs once they've reached that kind of tipping point. Internal toxins and external toxins. So internal toxins are toxins that are generated by the body when the body is just doing its thing. It's digesting food, it's making new cells, it's killing off the cells that are no longer useful and getting rid of those, and repairing cells. External toxins are things that we normally think about in the environment. So toxins in our soil, in our water, and in the air. Toxins on our produce, particularly because we have gained an awareness that there are pesticides on our produce, and we need to clean them properly before we eat them. So when it's functioning properly, our body is an efficient toxic load minimizing machine. And the body becomes less efficient at managing toxins as we reach that tipping point. And we often don't know that we're at that tipping point until we have some symptoms, which we'll look at later. So it really does matter that we mind the load of toxins on our body so that we don't get to that tipping point and have difficulties, because it's a lot easier to prevent them than it is to deal with them after the fact. Let's take a look at a few facts here. Of the 3,000 high-volume chemicals used in excess of 1 million pounds per year, only 7% are tested for safety. Now, if you're like me, you're thinking it shouldn't be that way, but this is the way big industry works. So they'll come out with a really cool product and we'll see it advertised on TV or elsewhere, and we'll think, oh, that looks really cool. I should get that. I was like that for years. Unfortunately, products are not taken off the market until it's been shown that they're harming people. So that usually happens because there's class action lawsuits, and then we hear that, there's been a fine levied against a big company that manufactures products with toxins in them. And then we hear that the EPA, or the Environmental Protection Agency, is thinking that they will change the rules about it. So it's a very kind of backward process in my thinking. Did you know that 45 different chemicals have been identified in household dust? So where are those coming from? Yes. So a lot of them are coming from the air, and that's kind of unbelievable, isn't it? But they're coming from different sources. Cleaning with spray cleaners may accelerate decline in lung function equivalent to smoking 20 cigarettes a day. So there's one source. US households spend an average of $600 per year on chemical-based cleaning supplies. And I'm sure that Canadian households are about the same. This is a list of some of the common toxins that you'll find in cleaners. I've given the names, some of which I don't know how to pronounce, and I've put in brackets where you're going to find these substances. 2-BE is found in glass cleaners, oven cleaners, stain removers. Phthalates are an endocrine disruptor. That's what the ED means, and you'll notice that I've got that ED beside several of these. All of these are neurotoxins as well. Phthalates are found in fragrance or perfume. When you buy an air freshener, a dish soap, hand soap, toilet paper, they all have fragrance in them, and that means it's synthetic. Ammonia is found in toilet cleaners, oven cleaners, car polish. BPA made the news a few years ago because there was some backlash against the use of BPA. A lot of companies who make these receipts substituted BPS instead of BPA, which isn't much different. So unfortunately, we're still kind of dealing with the toxic coating on the receipts that we get from the store. I've recently been trying to remind myself to carry a little booklet around so that I can note my expenses, and then I don't have to take the receipts from the cashier. NPEs are found in liquid laundry detergents and toilet bowl cleaners. Triclosan also made the news a few years ago. Antibacterial soaps had it in, and disinfectants as well. In some cases, the triclosan has been taken out of these products, but if you find a chemically sounding name in the list of ingredients, it's always a good idea to look it up. And Environmental Working Group is a very good website to look for some of these names, because names that have made the news can be disguised by similar products, similar toxins, but a different name. Chlorine is found in dishwasher detergents, and so when you run your dishwasher, you are dispelling chlorine throughout the house. Phosphates in dishwasher and laundry detergents. Sodium hydroxide in toilet openers and toilet bowl cleaners. And then parabens are also an endocrine disruptor. So it's been a common thinking that we need to have really tough substances, really tough toxic substances to get rid of grungy dirt. And it's not true. Most cleaning jobs can be done by something that is a lot milder. I want to finish this page by talking a little bit about quaternary ammonium compounds, QUATs for short. These are found in bathroom cleaners, fabric softeners, disinfectants, and also in hand sanitizers. When we started using hand sanitizers in 2020, Health Canada published a list of acceptable hand sanitizers by product name. And so every store that you went into, they had to choose their hand sanitizer, and they went to the Health Canada website, which is what I would normally think is a responsible thing to do. And they chose something that was on that list. What they didn't know was that it met the qualification for killing viruses, but it had often had harmful substances in. Quaternary ammonium compounds were used in a lot of those. I actually asked my gym owner to change the product they were using when I found out I had QUATs, and he complied with that. I was very happy about that. So it's just a matter of making people aware and asking nicely, of course. And when people become aware of the harms, they're quite often very happy to make changes. What is a neurotoxin? Well, neuro is connected to the nervous system, right? So it damages our central nervous system. It interferes with brain development, so it's particularly problematic for young children. And it disrupts the neuron firing signals in our brains. We find neurotoxins in synthetic fragrance, regular essential oils, and preservatives, because these contain any combination of preservatives and fragrance. So I mentioned earlier that synthetic fragrance was an endocrine disruptor. What is wrong with the regular essential oils? What I have learned is that upwards of 80% of essential oils on the market are synthesized in the lab. So they're either whole or in part synthetic. When we put these on our skin, it gets into our bloodstream and it can add to our toxic load and it causes problems for us. So it is a good idea to choose an essential oil that is from a very reputable company, which I'll talk about in a moment, and that it is highly tested. More did you knows? Up to 85% of contaminants are brought indoors in the first 4 steps. And so you never again have to feel badly about asking people to remove their shoes when they come in your house. It's just a fact of life. There's lots of stuff on the ground out there. A stay-at-home mom is 54% more likely to be diagnosed with cancer than a non-stay-at-home mom. That is really sad. And we'll look back in 30 years and think, why didn't we know better? The thing is that we do know better if we look for the details. And sometimes that means, in this case, looking at product labels and gaining a little bit of awareness and familiarity with the names of toxins that we want to stay away from. Here are some products that you will commonly have around the house. And if you don't, they're things that you can easily buy. And you can make some DIY cleaners, which I'll show you some recipes for in a moment. First of all, white vinegar. I have a large jug of white vinegar in my house. It never goes in my food, my salad dressings or anything. It's only used for cleaning. So if I want to eat vinegar, I use, what's it called? Apple cider vinegar instead. But the white cleaner is a great cleaner. White vinegar is a great cleaner. There's sugar you can use, pure Castile soap. And this is a picture of Dr. Bonner's pure Castile soap. There are other brands, but the blue label is non-scented. So that's a good way to start. Borax, Epsom salts, baking soda, which is in the corner up here, and doTERRA essential oils. So doTERRA essential oils are highly tested. They're tested many, many times. And then they're sent to a third-party company to test the oils before they're put on the market. They want to make sure that their batches are as pure as they can be. You might want to screenshot this. This is 3 recipes: body wash, all-purpose cleaner, and foaming hand soap. And I'm hoping that you can see this because I got the top bar covering it up a little bit. So the body wash, using Castile soap, a bit of glycerin. FCO is fractionated coconut oil. 10 to 20 drops of essential oils, whatever you fancy. This all-purpose cleaner is made with water, Castile soap, and rosemary and tea tree oils. Tea tree oil is well known as an antiviral. Rosemary is similar, and rosemary also smells so wonderful. Now, you can change the oils if you want, but I'm using those because of their cleaning abilities. And the third one is for foaming hand soap. Uses water, of course, Castile soap, and 45 drops of essential oils in a, what do I use for that? I actually use a 16-ounce bottle with a spray top. Now, you can use any combination of oils you like. I like to mix it up. I often use peppermint and rosemary because I like that smell, but it's all up to you. Let's talk about heightened sensitivity to scent for a minute, because some people say, oh, I can't handle lavender, or I don't like essential oils, because they think of essential oils as using them aromatically. They think of them as being put in a diffuser, and some people are sensitive to smells, certain smells and not other smells. But there's a difference between a sensitivity or allergic reaction and a preference, and they both need to be honored. So sensitivity can arise if you have used a synthetic, particularly. There's lavender in a lot of things, and it's all synthetic. So if you use those and get to the point where you get a skin rash, or it's just annoying to smell, then you've possibly reached the tipping point. And so just switching to a pure essential oil may not be the solution. It might. You have to test it out. Preference, some people don't like one smell. I know somebody who doesn't like cedarwood. I love it. So it's really just a matter of getting to know which smells you do like. The other thing about oils is that they're not just used aromatically. doTERRA oils are used topically, and some of them are used internally if you like to do that. So we want to use a pure oil so that whatever we put on our skin or ingest is going to be pure plant medicine and not going to cause any harm. I wanted to put here the definition of something called hyperosmia, which is a heightened and hypersensitive sense of smell that has been associated with a number of medical conditions. So some people do have a really heightened sense of smell. And if you do, you might want to check into, whether it's connected to a medical condition. But whether it is or not, that needs to be honored. And so what you can do with essential oils, you can still use them as plant medicine. You can just dilute them first of all, and put them on the bottom of your feet, because that way they will get into your bloodstream and they'll still give you the benefit. Now, a loss of smell is more common than hyperosmia, and loss of smell is something that can actually be recovered most of the time using peppermint oil. So you just smell the bottle a couple of times a day, and you'll find, my mother is doing this right now, and she's finding that her sense of smell is coming back. So exposure to chemical odors like synthetic fragrances, perfumes, and cleaning products can trigger mild to severe symptoms. We've talked a little bit about the respiratory, but there's other symptoms. Congestion, watery eyes, coughing, worsened asthma symptoms, migraines, skin rashes are a common one, upset stomach, and neurological effects in some severe cases. I've got a little bit of a dry throat because I think there's a heater quite near my desk. So surrounding ourselves with truly clean products that contain pure scent leads to better health outcomes. If you are going down the grocery store aisle and you're looking for something that's called clean or green, please understand that those products are often made by the big companies that make the toxic ones. So they maybe change a few products around and market it as clean. That doesn't mean that it's going to be safe. Here is an option for cleaning products from doTERRA. You might want to screenshot this because I think I'm going to get it through it fairly quickly. I've got a tickle in my throat. The bottle in the middle is this dish soap. I love this stuff. And this is how big the bottle is. See? And the dish soap can be used out of that container, which is an aluminum container, which is recyclable, or you can use, you can buy beautiful dispensers. laundry pods and dishwasher pods on the left side. And on the right side, we've got another aluminum bottle with hand soap that it's a refill. You can use it in a dispenser. There's hand lotion as well. And the two small bottles, the brown one is the Abode blend of essential oils, which I'll tell you about in a moment. The white bottle is concentrated surface cleaner. Now, the surface cleaner, you can use it. This is a 16-ounce dispenser bottle, or you can just use an ordinary one. These are all of the oils that are in the Abode blend. So there's lime, lycia. Lycia is used a lot in Asia to help protect against air pollution. Cassia is similar to cinnamon, lemon, eucalyptus. There's two types of eucalyptus in this: tea tree, arbor vitae, cilantro, lavender, lemon myrtle, and thymol. And all of these oils were chosen for their antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal properties. And it's just a secret of plant magic. When you put a bunch of these oils together, the cumulative effect is greater than the effect of each one individually. So thank you for joining me, and I hope that I've given you some ideas about how you can swap out your cleaners. I'm either using DIY recipes or choosing the doTERRA products. Some are all of the doTERRA products. And actually, you might want to screenshot this because this has my contact information. And I just wanted to mention that if you wanted to start small, you can actually buy the little brown bottle of Abode blend with all of those oils that I showed you, and you can use that oil to make your DIY cleaners instead of the assortment of other ones. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you again for joining me. Please don't hesitate to contact me if I can help you. Take care and have a great day.